Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi my loves, it's D0WNFALL and you're watching TROYCETV. So today's video, I decided to get on here and talk about the glamorization of OnlyFans culture. Now as we all know, OnlyFans has pretty much skyrocketed in popularity in the past 5 years, especially during the pandemic. Now, I want to just get on here real quick and say that I have no problem with sex workers, no problem with people who go on the internet and sell their cootie cat. If you want to walk around the street and sell your poom poom and you want to bust your pussy wide open for a real nigga, then do what you have to do. If you want to get on the street and sell your body and bend over or like fuck the hell out of something and get paid, then do you. I don't knock anybody's hustle because I feel like when people do sex work, it's always a last resort. Coming from someone that knows plenty of sex workers, OnlyFans people who have premium Snapchats, and lots of people who have done it in their past, and most people who choose that life choose it because they feel like they have no choice. Even Cardi B said it. Cardi B said when she went down the path of being a stripper hoe, she did what she did because she was trying to make ends meet. She was trying to live her life and escape from an abusive relationship and take care of herself.
And then on top of that, you know, I became independent. I was not living with my mom, and I was just living in my boyfriend's mother's house at the time. And it's like I was not paying rent, and I felt so out of place. I felt like I was like a dog that didn't belong there. And no matter what job I get, it wasn't gonna be enough for me to survive. And I ain't even gonna front, like stripping did a whole lot for me. Like I made my first $20,000 when I was like 20 years old.
Let me just start out by saying that OnlyFans is nowhere near as lucrative as people think it is. Now, OnlyFans has been booming ever since Beyonce gave it the stamp of approval. And yes, Beyonce plays a very big role on why OnlyFans is as popular as it was.
On that demon time, she might start her OnlyFans.
Back when I first heard about OnlyFans, I knew about it because I was friends with a famous porn star who I don't fuck with no more. Long story. Some of y'all who follow me for years might know what I'm talking about. And this famous porn star told me all about OnlyFans, the ins and outs, and how great it was because she herself is a porn star. She built a brand as a porn star, so it made sense for her. Now, the reason why she dabbled into sex work, from what she told me, was because she was a broke college kid, didn't have much money, and she was trying to get away from a pimp, and it worked out for her. However, when you see Miranda, Michael, Brian, Teresa, Samantha, Ashley, Kevin making an OnlyFans, it's never gonna work out the way they expect it to because you'll make mad bread for about 2 years, but unless you build a lucrative brand as a sex worker, you are not gonna last long. Every time I go on TikTok or any social media platform, there's always a girl, you know, boasting about how she made 50 G's, 100 G's, you know, how she made almost $500,000 on OnlyFans.
What's the most you've made in a month on OnlyFans?
Not that much. I would say like 400K.
Okay,
Ooh.
not that much. All right.
Did you say not that
well,
much?
Well, not as much as comparison to like other girls that I know. That's like my highest month, but I know girls that will make way more than that a month. Like
a lot of people will be in the comment sections of these influencers and they'll say, "Oh my God, I can't wait till I turn 18 so I can do this. Oh my God, I'd rather do this in college." And to be honest, I don't blame them because a lot of these influencers make it sound appealing. But the reality is, sex work is one of the most spiritually taxing things you could ever do. Every single sex worker I've ever known for my life who does OnlyFans and does premium Snapchat, they're spiritually being taxed because when you do that kind of content, people are always going to expect that of you and perceive you a certain way. What you put out is exactly what people are going to perceive of you. If you post yourself on social media, shaking your ass constantly, busting your poom poom wide open, you better believe people are going to walk up to you and automatically view you as a sexual being. For example, Sukihana. Because as we all know, Sukihana, the famous sex worker, porn girl, rapper, reality TV personality from Love and Hip Hop, and one of the most disgusting figures on the internet who has been able to build a platform off of being repulsive. Talented girl, but she's very repulsive, and that's just her image and her brand. Well, basically, there was a recent controversy surrounding her and an R&B singer who basically decided to grab her face and force a kiss on her.
Oh my! Oh,
Now, let me just say that when I saw that video, I was absolutely disgusted because you ever had somebody try to kiss you? Yeah, it's not fun. It's actually disgusting, especially when you don't really like the person like that. So for him to do that, I was disgusted, and he was dragged, rightfully so. But considering her image and her brand, that's exactly why he thought doing that shit was appropriate.
Lame ass hoe. And you need to wash the shit out that motherfucking dookie shooter you got, hoe. You need to wash the shit out that dookie shooter, bitch. I'm tired of you hoes playing with me, bitch. And bitch, I'm finna be the richest bitch out here. Fuck ass hoe. I'm the richest hoe in the motherfucking South.
If it was someone like Kelly Rowland, he wouldn't dare have done that shit. But because of Sukihana, he wanted to do that. He views her as like a Jezebel spirit. She's very sexy and seductive and repulsive. And that's why he did what he did. Doesn't make it okay. But her putting out this crazy image of her choking on, like literally snorting up dick all down her throat and literally throwing up on a penis and slurping up all that throw up and posting it on the internet for the world to see. And then expecting people to take her seriously as a rapper. That's why he did what he did. And again, it doesn't make it okay, but that's just what I mean when I say the image you put out will follow you forever. I knew a very popular male sex worker, right? He was an OnlyFans personality. I had to follow out with him because he had a lot of insecurities and he was just overall a draining person. But before me and him had a falling out, I remember this male sex worker that I knew who's very famous on OnlyFans. You can find his videos on porn sites, all that stuff. He's a male sex worker. And he basically told me that he really hates how he's perceived because of what he puts out on Twitter. If you go down his Twitter timeline, it's videos of him fucking people, like fucking trans people, fucking dudes, all types of shit. A little, X-rated, but yes, that's the kind of stuff he posts. And I remember him telling me that he hates when he goes out in public and people look at him and say, oh my God, that's so-and-so from that porn. That's so-and-so. Or, hey, you're so-and-so. I love your videos. You're so-and-so. He didn't like that because for him, he never wanted to be famous. He never wanted to be popular. He merely just wanted to build a brand on OnlyFans so that way he could take care of himself. Almost every single X-rated content creator I've ever met has told me that they're trying to find other ways to like diversify and find like a game plan. Like one X-rated worker that I knew who was an OnlyFans creator, he told me how he was trying to get into doing skincare. Like he wanted to make a skincare line and he wanted to sell hair because he saw that that was a big thing. And he wanted to find a distributor in a foreign country to sell hair. And he was trying to get into real estate, but he just didn't have the confidence to do it because for him, it was just so fucking easy to just take off his clothes, show off his six-pack and his chest and his penis and make 10 bands off of that every month. That was so easy for him that he couldn't have the confidence and fathom the confidence of trying something else, And a big reason why I fell out with this particular individual that I'm talking about right now is because he was trying to look at me as a way to save him. Like he wanted to hang out with me so that way a lot of my knowledge about the entertainment industry and about marketing could rub off on him. Like he tried to put this weird like little label on me as like his little networking friend. And he was like, hey, like, we should like really hang out more often. You should bring your laptop and I bring my laptop and we could like talk about like cool creative ideas. And it was so weird because he wanted me to be that for him. Then I knew another sex worker. It was a woman, by the way. And she would tell me how, yeah, like, Troyce, I see you doing YouTube and stuff. Like, I could definitely do that too. And, we should like collab so I could build my channel. She was trying to build another source of income because she knew that this sex worker thing was sucking the life out of her and spiritually taxing her existence. And she would tell me horrible experiences of when she'd be like in the downstairs lobby of her apartment and her getting spotted and being treated a certain way. She would be talking to like random dudes and they would like be trying to bring up her scenes and talk about, like, yo, like how did you take the dick like that? Like, how did you suck a dick like that? Like asking her weird ass questions. Those are the kind of things she has to deal with. She has to deal with the aspect of dudes she's trying to date, looking up her porn videos and watching her porn videos. She has to deal with that. And that's her bed and that's what she slept in. She wanted me to kind of help her with YouTube and shit. She wanted to find ways to get out of it. Because again, for a lot of people, especially people who are dedicated to doing sex work, who are full-blown sex workers, a lot of them use it as a last resort. And I remember asking him one time, I said, if you feel this way about doing what you do and putting yourself out there like that, then why? And he interrupted me and was like, so why do it? I was like, yeah, so why do it? And he was like, it's for the money, but everyone I know fucking hates it. And That's what it is. He has a brand and a platform for being a sex worker, and that's why like I kind of have an issue with regular people kind of hopping on the OnlyFans culture because they think they can compete with these sex workers when they realistically can't. A lot of these sex workers have dedicated their life to being sex workers. Literally, once your vajayjay is on the internet or once your dick is on the internet, it's on the internet forever. There is no such thing as putting yourself out there on the internet and then deleting it. It's out there. If you've ever built a following of at least 100 people, the odds of somebody screen recording your video and reposting it is very high. If you even have 1,000 people who have viewed your social media or follow you, you better believe that when you get popping and you get famous and you start going viral, somebody out there is screen recording your feed or screen recording your shit, screenshot it and sending it, and they're posting it on third-party websites. And that shit will always follow you. A good example is Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian can literally save the fucking world. She could free Ray Ray, Daquan, Chandra, and she could free Julio and Xavier from prison. But you better believe that people will still tweet a photo of her sucking on Ray J's dick. You better be ready for the shit that comes with it. People will always look at you as somebody that sold their body on the internet. And fun fact about OnlyFans workers, a lot of them don't make as much as you think they do. Some of them make 6 figures in a year. Some of them could even make upmost $1 million. Bad Baby was even a perfect example. The Cash Me Outside girl, whatever the fuck her name is, Danielle Ravioli. Danielle Ravioli basically made $50 million, over $50 million in 1 year on OnlyFans, and made $1 million the day she turned 18 on OnlyFans.
Just make me enough to where I can get $3 million in an account and put it away and never touch it. Made way more than that. Way more than that. Y'all want to keep calling me the Catch Me Outside girl. Why don't y'all call me the bitch that made $50 million off OnlyFans? Because I had never told nobody that. People didn't really know. People only knew about the millions. So it's a lot of people out there thinking I only got $1 million. But $50 million later, I bought a house, 6.1 million cash.
Now, this OnlyFans wave was very intentional for her. I'll give Danielle Ravioli her props. She won. To generate $50 million on OnlyFans, that's insane. And let me just say this. Bad Baby obviously did this as a marketing ploy because, as we all know, she had just turned 18 at the time. And of course, millions of people are going to be curious about how her body looks now that she's of legal age to do this kind of content. But what people don't realize is she went the OnlyFans route for a reason. Evidently, her buzz died down. Evidently, her publicity died down, and she needed a quick cop-out. And she's not a sex worker. It's a matter of time before she wakes up one day and she realizes that she has to keep doing this in order to sustain these millions of dollars. Eventually, she's going to have to pay the property taxes. Eventually, everything's going to add up, and she's going to have to find another hustle. And of course, she can do it because, again, she already has a very popular social media following. So realistically, she can do a lot of things. But to see her bend over backwards and post this kind of content at her level of fame, it's insane. I mean, it worked. It was a great business move, but she's not a sex worker. So a lot of people will see this. They'll see what Bad Baby was able to do, and they'll think that they have to get into this profession in order to make millions of dollars and to retire. Because, again, most people are tired of fucking working and trying to climb that corporate ladder because most of these jobs aren't going to promote you. They're not going to make it easy for you to get a raise. The average person is not going to make M's on OnlyFans. And I really hate that it's so glamorized nowadays because now everyone thinks that this is the escape route in order to be popping and make millions of dollars. Same thing with being an influencer. You know, being an influencer can pay well. Trust me and believe me. And I believe anyone can do it if you put your mind to it and you have the right intentions. But it's not a quick cash grab. It's not a quick, cop out. It's not a quick, get rich quick scheme to be an influencer, to be famous. People think automatically when you're famous, it'll sustain longevity, but sometimes it doesn't. So I really hope everyone that jumps on this OnlyFans wave, if they're lucky enough to get a certain amount of followers, sustains it by investing into themselves. Because the average person is not going to make bread like that, like Bad Baby. And then we also have OnlyFans agencies where influencers are going out of their way to teach you how to build a following on OnlyFans and make X, Y, and Z amount of money. A lot of them are selling you all types of gimmicks, telling you that you'll make X amount of money if you join their agency. And I like to call these people glorified pimps because many of them are also selling you a dream, and they're literally preying and plotting on vulnerable people who don't know shit about anything. And it's such bullshit because you're the one that has to show your body and flash your jewels just for them to get like 35, maybe even 40% of your income, which is insane. Literally glorified pimps. Now, one thing that's funny about a lot of people who want to be influencers and want to be on the OnlyFans wave is a lot of people don't realize that when you're an influencer and when you own a business, a lot of people are independent contractors. Just like how a lot of these construction workers are independent contractors, just like how Uber drivers and DoorDash people are independent contractors, so are influencers, and so are people who are OnlyFans. So you better believe that when that time comes and you made $700,000, $500,000 on OnlyFans, what happens when you realize that you don't pay taxes like a person who works a 9-to-5 job? Now, most people who work in the States or in a lot of westernized countries, your taxes are already removed out of your paycheck and out of your taxes at the end of the year. So if you made roughly around, I don't know, $65,000 a year or $42,000 a year, 25 or 18 or 30% of that is already deducted for taxes. Now, there was a video of this OnlyFans model who got on YouTube and she explained how she owed mad money in taxes because she didn't realize she had to pay so many taxes, considering that they don't deduct it when you do OnlyFans or you are an influencer.
So initially when I did it, TurboTax said that I owed $2,200, almost $2,300 is what I owed in taxes. And I made about $8,000 on OnlyFans, and I made about almost $300 on YouTube. So that kind of freaked me out a little bit that I owed almost $2,300 to the government for doing OnlyFans. So I had an emotional breakdown because I actually didn't have any money saved up, which I definitely recommend that you should. Any money saved up from any OnlyFans earnings, because something would always happen. So like I'd have car problems, I had to take my cat to the vet, you know, just certain things happen that you just can't save it.
Then there's Cardi B. Cardi B, who constantly complains about taxes any chance she gets, even though she always encourages people to vote a certain way. Now, obviously, Mrs. Cardi B is not an OnlyFans personality, but she is on OnlyFans just like all the other truckload of celebrities that jumped on the platform. And she's also an influencer and an independent contractor because she's an entertainer. And she complained about how bad taxes is.
I wasn't spending no money like that, and yet my bills every single motherfucking month was over $100,000. Over $100,000. And a bitch was not even moving, because the more money, the more problems, the more responsibility. So that's why I find it so funny when people be telling you what to do with your fucking money, bro. Then on top of that, you got the IRS that be on your ass. 45% on your check. They take off 45% of your check. 45% of your check. You got to literally prove that everything is a business expense. Or you bought, and it's hard to prove that certain shit is a business expense. Like, that's why every single time, like, I be going so hard on people. Like, it's like, listen, bro, it's either you work for me and you got papers that you work for me, or you don't, because I got to prove that there's a business expense. Every single time that I buy an outfit, I literally take a picture of the receipt. Take a pictures of all receipt. Count that shit as a business expense. Like, it's like, I don't have, because it's like when you give money to people, the IRS don't give a fuck if you gave money to somebody because they were homeless and shit. They don't give a fuck. Is it a business expense? No, then it don't count. And then you got to pay tax off that money that you giving somebody else. It's crazy, yo. It's crazy. Like people are so worried about what other people are doing, and they're not even realizing that people, they raping their citizens with no lubricant. They sticking a fucking big fat dick in your ass with no fucking lubricant. This country's really fucked up, bro. Federal and state tax. Like, it's just like, how do y'all take so much? How do the government think it's okay for somebody to put so many hard working hours and they just take your money and then they claim that they're doing shit for the city? But I don't see them thing. I don't see no difference.
People want to be influencers, and people love to tell influencers, get a real job, bitch! Get a real job! It's not lucrative! The thing is, being an influencer is a real job if you get sponsorships, if you have an OnlyFans, if you have a YouTube channel, if you're getting paid off of TikTok, because influencers are independent contractors who pay a shit ton of taxes at the end. It's not deducted. We don't have a corporation backing us to where we have to literally like wait for them to take the taxes out. So in terms of Social Security tax, Medicare tax, we pay that shit at the end. And OnlyFans people generating all this money looks like fun, but when you owe like $70,000 in taxes, it's not going to be as fun as you thought it was. When you owe 6 figures in taxes, when you owe mad money in taxes, and OnlyFans ain't paying the bills like it was 2, 3, 4 years ago. OnlyFans should be a stepping stool. So for people to leave their corporate jobs just to do OnlyFans, it's scary because there's so many young people who are looking at this wave of OnlyFans and they think, okay, let me just quit my job or not go to school and just do OnlyFans. Shit, it's possible if you're passionate about the craft of sex work and you actually want to be a sex worker. But if you see this as a cash grab, bitch, guess what? In 2 years, your ass is still gonna owe all those fucking taxes for all that money you made if your OnlyFans even goes anywhere. And guess what? If your OnlyFans don't get anywhere, guess what? Now your poom poom is on the internet. Your poom poom is on the internet, and they can always screen record it, screenshot it, share it, and much more. And if someone ever wants to Google you, there's a chance that your poom poom or your dick might be on the internet, and people may not even care to even fucking hire you, or people may look at you sideways, or it could affect how you're viewed publicly and socially, and it could hinder you in your career or your future endeavors. Now, it's all fun and games to have an OnlyFans until people tell you, hey, oh my God, I would love, since I'm a subscriber and I give you my $6.99 a month, I would love if you shoved your pinky in your pussy and you also shoved your middle finger up your ass. Can you imagine people who pay $6.99 a month? Basically, you're fucking pimps. That's what they are. You're pimps telling you, shove your pinky up your coochie and shove your middle finger up your ass and finger it back and forth until poop comes out or I'm unsubscribing. In your head, you'll probably look at that and say, the fuck, I'm not doing that. But then what happens when 2 years go by and that 50 G's you're making now is looking like about 6 G's, and then 2 more years go by and you realize that you can't maintain those expenses you had. You can't maintain that traveling that you did. You can't maintain and keep up with the Joneses and keep up with all those friends you have that also do pretty well for themselves. Then what? OnlyFans is not lucrative, just like how any other job is not lucrative. The thing is, it's all about what you do with it. It's the same thing with having a social media following. People see this person's followers, my followers, this followers, that followers, this influencer that has millions of followers. But they don't realize that just because someone has millions of followers, that doesn't mean they have millions of dollars in their bank account. Now, a lot of influencers make great ass fucking money, right? But a lot of influencers don't know how to sustain it because they don't realize that having a platform is a blessing, but it's something you need to utilize to the best of your ability. Selling merchandise, starting another business, buying a home when you conveniently can, and making sure that you invest into other avenues. Like, are you into acting? Do you want to own a restaurant one day? What are things you always want? Do you want to be an author? Do you want to be someone that owns a cupcake shop? Do you want to own a bakery? You have to create another asset, because if you don't create something that has consistent or sustainable cash flow, like, I don't know, maybe even a Patreon or some shit. If you don't provide useful content that people can always look back to and enjoy, there will be a strong chance that you will go completely broke. So OnlyFans should be a stepping stool for a lot of people, not something you can do because you want to make some quick money and some fast cash. That doesn't last. Easy come, easy go. That's a saying that we all grew up hearing. Easy come, easy go, and before you know it, those followers that subscribe to you because they love seeing you clap your ass, they're not going to want to give you $6.99 anymore. They're going to wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm tired of seeing your penis on my feed. I'm not paying $6.99. I don't care about that. I don't want to pay $15.99 a month for that. That doesn't do anything for me. Because at a certain point, some people are going to be like, there's so much porn out there. There's so much of it that's free. Why would I pay for it? Unsubscribe. And then before you know it, you just lost 20 people who are paying you $9.99 a month. And then before you know it, you lose 200 people, then 500 people, then 1,000 people. And now you feel like you have to assimilate. You get on Twitter, because Twitter is the place where a lot of people post their X-rated content. And they're like, oh, hey, look at me. Look at me. I'm taking off my underwear, guys. Come back. Come subscribe. That's what you're going to have to do. So most of the people who sustain a following and an income on OnlyFans are usually celebrities. The highest paid OnlyFans creator was Black China's ass. Black China was pulling in more than $10 million a year on OnlyFans. Then there's Larsa Pippen. Then there's Safari. Then there's people such as Cardi B, who doesn't even do shit on her OnlyFans, but does more of like a behind the scenes of her life. These people have lucrative followings and a consistent fan base that like them for them. And that's why they'll probably be able to sustain it more than Sandra down the block. Eventually, just like any industry that's driven by sex, whether it be modeling, runway modeling, or porn, or being a video vixen, or being an Instagram model, there's a shelf life. A lot of these people are only as useful as their looks. People will only look at you for your looks. If you're a good looking guy and you make an OnlyFans, you need to make sure that you keep your body in shape. Because if people see one little flab and they're not attracted to you no more, you better believe that they're unsubscribing to that ass real fucking quick. Sex work should just be left to sex workers. Because if you are not a sex worker, you should not be on the platform, or you should not expect to be on the platform consistently. It's going to wrap up very soon, and eventually it'll all fizzle out. I can imagine having to wake up every single fucking week and see my earnings go down because, you know, people didn't like me being intimate with somebody on camera, so they wanted me to be intimate with somebody else, or people want me to be intimate with a certain character. I am all for loving yourself and liberation, but do not sit up here and try to justify why you do what you do by trying to hide behind activism and liberation. Sometimes that is the case, but in most times people are just saying that to make themselves feel better. Now, I knew one dude who, you know, did his little videos or whatever, and I remember him telling me, I don't know why people look down on it, you know? Like, I fuck all the time. Like, I'm always having sex, you know? Since I'm always having sex, you know, I might as well charge for it, right? And he was, like, going in and in and in, like, trying to over-explain to me as if I was, like, his mom or, like, his cousin or something, when I don't even really know this guy like that. But he was just going in and in and in about how well, you know, I have sex all the time. I'm always having sex, always. I'm always on my phone trying to have sex with somebody. Since I'm always trying to have sex with somebody, I mean, I might as well charge for it, right? Like, he was, like, forcing it. He was so passionate, as if he was kind of, like, reading off of a script. Like, he's so used to rehearsing what he says to justify his bad actions that he himself thinks is bad. I don't think it's bad, but he thinks it's bad because people around him probably crucify and judge him for it. And in my head, I remember thinking to myself, why does he feel the need to over-explain this to me? I didn't ask. I just was like, how lucrative and substantial do you see it being for a long time? Can you, like, live off of it? That was kind of all the conversation was going, as far as I remember. And he just went on and on for, like, 6 minutes just over-explaining. And a lot of times you can always get a feel of how somebody is or how they truly feel on the inside if you just sit back, shut up, and just let them talk. So in a nutshell, OnlyFans, this glamorization of it, leave that shit to the sex workers and stop glamorizing it and normalizing it with sexual liberation. Let's love our bodies. No, bitch, you love your fucking body enough to share it with millions of fucking people. Don't try to justify it and make everyone else think that you're an activist when in reality, you're just looking for a quick little cash grab to sustain your lifestyle so that way you can go shopping and travel the world. I have a lot of respect for a lot of beautiful women who don't run the route of OnlyFans. Even attractive men. There's a lot of attractive people and attractive men on Instagram that, you know, show photos of them being shirtless, women who take pretty little bikini photos, and people will be in their comments saying, make it OnlyFans, make it OnlyFans. And guess what? They refuse to do so. They rather just model, do some acting, build a lucrative brand, and hustle, work hard, work a regular 9-to-5 honest living, or utilize their skills or utilize their degrees. I have a lot of respect for people who are aesthetically attractive, especially a lot of y'all out there that are aesthetically attractive, have, you know, a nice body or whatever, and you don't go that route because it's so easy to do it. And so many people are doing it that if you don't do it, I have a lot of respect for you, because in this world and in this society where everyone's kind of pressuring you and telling you that you should just do it because it's easy money, but you don't want to do it because you don't want yourself to be out there, that means you're not willing to just sell your soul for like 50 G's a month. That tells me that you're not willing to just sell your soul for 200 G's a month. Not saying that people who do OnlyFans are, because there's some people who are legit, you know, porn stars and sex workers that eat and breathe and enjoy this shit. But the people who don't give a fuck how attractive or how banging their body is or how large their breasts are, I admire you for not going that route. When you do things for money, it fills out very fast. But that was that for this entire breakdown / rant / video. I really want to know what y'all think about this whole situation and what I had to say in the comment section down below. And just overall, give me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. And feel free to email me and DM me and follow me on Instagram. But yeah, that's that. Like, comment, and subscribe. Choice out this bitch.
I wanna be that Cinderella, waiting for somebody who wanna come and set me free. Don't wanna do no. I gotta rescue myself. I don't know the rest of the lyrics, but thanks for watching. Follow me on Instagram and listen to my podcast and join my Patreon. Bye.